it's been a while since I uploaded. I have been moving house. I am now in said house, and yeah, I've been so busy. I am gonna do like a life update video, but I thought I would ease myself back into it with a reading wrap up ×2, where so I'm gonna go through the books that I read in July and August, which actually, to be fair, isn't that many compared to what I usually read. I think there's like 7 books altogether, and I usually read probably more than 7 books a month, so yeah, moving house has been stressful, and we're like nowhere near even close to like finishing the house. This probably won't be where I film videos when, you know, the house is actually sorted, but I've got to make do with what I have at the moment, so I don't know what the sound is going to be like, but you know, we're just gonna move with it. So yeah. Also, thank you everyone for all the kind messages you have sent me, and like the well wishes for moving and stuff. They've been really nice. I have read them all. If I haven't replied to them, I'm sorry. Like, I have a habit of like looking and then like I'll reply later, and then I get overwhelmed with other things that I'm doing. I'm just so busy. But yeah, I'll update everything about the past few months in another video that hopefully I will film today. But yeah, I'm gonna go through the books that I read in July and August. Again, you'll have to bear with me because it's been a long time since I've read them, and I've had so much like else going on in my brain that it might not be the most eloquent review, but I will try my best. So yeah. I don't know when I will get back into like my regular filming schedule, but I'm gonna just try and film as and when I can. So yeah, let's get started. Way back in July, I finished reading The Crown of Gilded Bones by Jennifer L. Armadrow. Is that how you say her name? This is the 3rd book in the Blood and Ash series, which is a fantasy series, a popular fantasy series, which follows Poppy, and she is like the maiden, like the chosen one in like their world. But I can't really say much about this book without like ruining the other ones, but obviously that her like life as the maiden doesn't particularly go as planned, and yeah, I found the first 2 books, they were good, they were like average, but oh my god, my back's already hurting. They were like average, they took me a long time to get through. This book was definitely the best in the series so far. It was definitely the most consistent book throughout, the most fast-paced, and some of the twists and turns in this book like really did shock me. I didn't expect them. I think the writing was much better in this book as well. I do think it could have been shorter. Again, they are like big ass books, and this book made me excited to read like the rest of the series with the other 2 books. If they had continued with that kind of like pace, I don't know if I'd have been like managed to actually finish the series, but this book gives me hope for the rest of the series. What I will say though is some of like the spicy scenes definitely have to like give myself a little refresher of this book. But overall, I did enjoy it. And I would say, yeah, like definitely try the series out and give it a chance. So that was the first book that I read. The next book that I read in July was a very popular book. Like, I've seen this on so many people's like favourite books of all time, and that was The Invisible Life of Addie, LaRue by V.E. Schwab. There's like fucking some birds outside of the dog. Sorry, you're just gonna have to like, we're just gonna have to power through this. I'm not a dog person either, like how annoying. Oh well, the neighbours have to deal with my kids like being really loud, so we'll have to deal with their dog. But The Invisible Life by Addie, LaRue by V. Schwab, a very, very, very popular book. And if you've been like watched my previous videos, I did say how excited I was to read this book. I was so excited. I think this was on my like summer TBR, which I picked out from my jar. And it basically follows a woman, Addie, LaRue, and she is like immortal. She makes a deal, and she's like immortal, but the catch is that no one in her life can remember everyone she meets. Like, no one can remember who she is, and it follows her, and then she finally meets someone who can remember her. And guys, like, my expectations for this book were like sky high. I thought it was gonna like alter the course of my life. I thought it was gonna be like a life-changing experience because of how highly people speak of this book, and I was disappointed. Like, I really was. I gave it 3 stars, but like a low 3-star for sure. Like, the plot was really clever, but like I was kind of just like a little bit bored, if I'm being honest. Like, I did find it a bit of a struggle to get through, and my mum, she was like, this wasn't one of her, like, she was like, it's her least favourite like V. Schwab book as well. So, and I was like, oh, like, who do you think you are, Mum? Like, thinking that before I went into that. But no, I agree with her. I mean, this is actually the only V. Schwab book that I've read so far. I've got some on my, like, got loads of her books over there, but disappointed in this one. It let me down a little bit. Maybe I had my expectations a little bit high, but overall, I was just like a little bit bored, and it was just a bit meh. Like, yeah, didn't get that life-altering experience, unfortunately. And then I wanted to get into, because I was getting like really busy with moving and stressed and stuff, I was like, and it was summer, I was like, I'm gonna just like read some cute summer romances. So I started off with Clyde by Bal Cabra, a hockey romance. Look how cute these little sprayed edges are. This is like a Works exclusive edition, I think. And yeah, a hockey romance, and it follows Summer and Aiden. Aiden is the hockey captain, and Summer is she a psychologist? She's like doing is she doing sports psychology? I think she's doing sports psychology as like a major, and they basically get like partnered together for an assignment, about them, like their like evolving relationship. I gave this 3 stars. I thought it was like a cute summer romance. It was fun. It was super easy to read. It wasn't too like emotionally like heavy. It was definitely just like I needed it in summer, light-hearted. I don't think it necessarily added anything new to like hockey romances as, you know, a genre, but it was fun. The writing at times seemed a little bit flat, but overall, if you're after like a cute little hockey romance, like this is that. I had a fun time reading it. Again, like, it's hard for me to go into detail about these things because I've read them so long ago. For me, and if they weren't like life-changing, I struggle to like remember the ins and outs of all of them. But I remember it was being fun. Like, it was fun. It was cute. Sometimes that's all you need. Continuing my, like, on the romance books, I then picked up Done and Dusted by Lila Sage, another cowboy romance. These are super short, which I like, and also the art, like the covers are stunning. Like, some of my favourite covers ever. I absolutely love the covers. And this follows Emmy and Luke, and Emmy is like a small town cowboy romance, and Emmy is from the town. She moves back for reasons that you find out in the book, and Luke is her brother's best friend. They like grew up together, but like historically they didn't get on. I gave this 3 stars, like rounded up. I thought it was like cute, it was fun, but everything happened a little bit too quickly to like be completely like developed and believable. I mean, it is obviously a short book, so things do have to like happen quite quickly. But I would say this is like a little, it can be like a nice little like palette cleanser in between if you're like getting into any like big romance books or any other kind of like big novels. This is a nice little palette cleanser, and if you know you need something that isn't going to take you too long and you're wanting to kind of like get out of a slump or something, I would recommend this for sure. The writing at times was a little bit like bland, but it was fine. The one thing I would say is that I like literally fucking hate when like the females beg the males. Like, it instantly gives me like, it instantly just like turns me off, and I hate it. And there was so much of that in this, like, yeah, I hate it. I just fucking hate it. Like, it just makes me like cringe. I don't even know what the word is. Like, I just, I can't stand it. So yeah, there was a lot of that in this, but like, it was fine. It wasn't, people like absolutely love this particular one, and I don't know, like, I don't know if I didn't particularly warm to Emmy's character as much. I did like Luke though, so yeah, it was like, again, something like I needed, because like a short romance, not too, doesn't take too much of an emotional toll, but yeah, it's like a 3-star rounded up for Done and Dusted. I then listened to an audiobook. I listened to Trist Sex Venom by Penelope is from like across the tracks, so she is quite like the opposite. She's like the angsty alternative girl, I guess. And like, I don't know, Penelope Douglas's books, like I feel like all her characters are variations of like the same person. Like throughout her books you always have like the like angsty girl, you always have like the rugged boys, you always have like the like preppy blonde girl, and like this was no different to that. The only difference was that it was like a sapphic romance. So did I give this 3 stars? I think I gave it like 3 stars. Just because, I don't know, like it just didn't offer like anything new from the rest of her books, other than it was 2 lesbians. That was like the only thing that was kind of like different. The kind of like formulation of the plot and the people was the same. Like it was fun, the spicy scenes were good. The one thing I will say, like, if you're used to Penelope Douglas books, you know like a lot, some of the scenes and some of the dialogue is like it is cringe, it is like, yeah. And it was the first Penelope Douglas book I've picked up in a while, since like last summer, so like in a year, so like it took having to get used to some of those scenes again took me a while, but it was fine. It was just like, yeah, it didn't like blow me away like some of her books have before. Like, you know me and the Devil's Night series, like I fucking was obsessed with that series. I loved that series. I don't know if I'd love it like if I reread it, but I'm a fucking will die on the hill of that. I love that series. So yeah, but it did open it up for another book that I read in August that I'll talk about later, which is like based in the same world as that. But yeah, I think if I had like read Trist Sex Venom or listened to it like as one of the first Penelope Douglas books that I'd read, then I would have enjoyed it more. But because I have read a few of her books already, like it's the same book pretty much, just with like different characters and in a different world. But yeah, so I listened to that. I think I gave it 3 stars. If I didn't give it 3 stars, I will put how many stars I gave it over here. The book that I did read after this was the one set in that world. I read this on my Kindle, which is out of battery, so I can't like hold it up. But I will just do some tapping on this instead. And it was 5 Brothers by Penelope Douglas. This is a new release, and it follows Olivia's brothers. 5 Brothers, a very imaginative title. And it follows her and Christian, who we like. She is in Trist Sex Venom as one of Clay's friends, but she's like fine, like she's a character we like. And I don't know why. I don't know if I was just like then in the Penelope Douglas like mindset, but like I fucking loved this book. Like I like devoured this book, and it did have like, you know, your classic Penelope Douglas elements. Obviously the 5 rugged men, the age gap, and you know, the girl who like wants to like look after all the guys. That's like kind of standard in her books, I would say. But like I don't know why, I just like I thought it was like really well written, even though again we had some cringy scenes that I don't know, make me like, they don't make me uncomfortable, they just make me kind of she basically like makes her way around each brother, which you might think is like, what the fuck, but like it was done in like, I think it was done in a good way, like it was well written. The one thing I will say is like the age gap Penelope Douglas like writes, like they don't need, why are her females always like so young, like so young? We don't need that, like put them in their 20s. I did actually watch Hayley Jean's review, and she did not like this book, and I agreed with like the thing about the age gap. Like the age gap, I have to pretend in Penelope Douglas's books, like I have to actually pretend that the females are older than they are, or like I couldn't read it, so I was pretending Christian was like 24, 25. And I also agree with Hayley Jean that the fucking names that she gives them are diabolical. Like, why can't you just call them normal? Like the guys, there's like Iron. The fucking names, Christian, why? Iron, why? Just, yeah. I think sometimes she tries to do things to be different when it's like not unnecessary. But anyway, regardless, I did really enjoy Five Brothers. I agreed with who she ended up with at the end, even though I do think it was obvious. And yeah, would recommend for sure. I think I gave it 5 stars. 5 stars. I loved it. I think it was like my second favourite read of the year. Yeah, loved that. And then the final book that I read in July and August, so I only actually read 2 books in August, which gives you an idea of how fucking busy I was, but I read Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage. This is the second one. What is this actual series called? Rebel Blue Ranch. So this is the one that comes after Done and Dusted, and this follows Ada and Weston. So Weston is one of Emmy's brothers, and Ada is like an interior designer that comes in to do up one of like the ranches. And I think I gave this one 4 stars. This one was also, again, cover stunning. I think I gave this one 4 stars, even though it took me literally like the entire month to read. And again, super short. I think this one was just like more in depth, more developed, even in the short like space of time, and just like more well written overall. I actually really did like Ada as well, so I got on with both characters. Again, it was cute, it was fun, it was quick, and the third act was like stress-free, and I needed like a stress-free books at that time. So would definitely recommend reading Done and Dusted, so you can read this one. And I think the third book, which is called, don't fucking know, it begins with like L. It's like some, I don't know, it begins with an L though. That's out soon, I believe. So would recommend reading Done and Dusted to get to this one, and I'm hoping the next one is even better. So yeah. So those are all the books I read in July and August. God, it seems like ages ago. I am slowly getting back into reading. Not as much as I